What do you say? What do you know? It's the full Monte Sports Show. It is Sunday, May 16th, 2020. I am your host, Monte Perez, a.k.a. The Sports Whisperer. I want to thank everyone for watching last show. We had 33 states tune in across the country watching the full Monte Sports Show. We are trending number 3 on YouTube. What does that mean? That means when you go to YouTube and you type in sports shows, you see the full Monte Sports Show. Again, the fan support has been overwhelming. I want to thank everyone who watches this show and tells their friend. Our goal is to do this 5 days a week, and we can only do that with your help. So how do you do that? How do you help us get this show where it needs to be? Well, the first thing you could do is go to YouTube and click like. Give us a big thumbs up for this show. Give us a big thumbs up for this show, and also subscribe to Nuts and Bolts YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Nuts and Bolts YouTube channel. We have the best guests all across the country, and this week is no exception. In about 15, 20 minutes, we're going to have Enzo Jabali join us from France. We are international from France. Join us to talk about the world of soccer, and then we're going to have two of our favorite guests, Daniel Godwin of the Three Kings podcast, and A. Marie. She doesn't need a last name. She's like Cher. A. Marie, she has a new podcast out as well. Going to talk about the Vikings and the Bears and the NFL draft. Don't go anywhere for the next hour and a half. We got you covered, sports and comedy. And I just want everyone to know, this is the last week. Where we are doing a fundraiser for George Lopez and his son. George Lopez and his son got invited to appear at a camp in Arizona. College scouts are going to be there. Yes, he's young, just young and in high school, but he's going to be there. So definitely, if you can, here's a. George Lopez's son, the trainer says that his son doesn't want to take water breaks. He's so focused. So how can we help George Lopez? Real simple. I've been doing it every paycheck, sending him $25, $50, $10, whatever you can do to help out him and his son, please do. Okay, you can go to his Venmo account, George/Lopez 3771, George/Lopez 3771, and let's help him out. Okay, let's start our journey today with this. I started doing this a few weeks ago. I moved to Florida a couple years ago, and this is the craziest state in the world. I say it all the time. Florida is like a supermodel that has a lot of issues. Beautiful on the outside, but so dysfunctional and crazy on the inside. So let's start with this. I'm laughing, and it's not really funny. Laura Carroll, an assistant principal at Bellevue Elementary School near Pensacola, Florida, allegedly conspired with her 17-year-old daughter, Emily, to help her secure the homecoming queen title for 2020 in March. Okay, now they are facing up to 16 years in jail. Because of this. I mean, 16 years in jail for rigging a homecoming queen contest. People, let me just tell you right now, I won homecoming king. Nobody cares that I won homecoming king. You're going to rig so your daughter wins homecoming queen, and now you're looking at 16 years in jail because you lied? Do you think anyone cares 3 months after this woman was announced homecoming queen that this matters in life? They rigged the election. They lied, and now they're facing 16 years in jail because she wanted her daughter to feel special to win homecoming queen. Again, I won homecoming king. It hasn't helped me in life. Nobody cares. It didn't even help me on prom night. So living a lie. This is something that I've been talking about my family with my work and just relationships. This is not something that I do. I may be a lot of things, but I am not a liar. I am not a cheater. I'm too honest. I'm going to give you two examples of how one, my friend lied to a woman and it came back to bite him in the butt. And another time, my one friend lied to me and he didn't have to. So the first one is my friend when I lived out in LA. Both of my friends are named Mike, two different guys, Mike in LA. We're at a bar, a sports bar, and they're showing old UFC fights. And we're watching it and we're getting into it. And this woman comes up to it with her friend and she says, "Are you guys UFC fighters?" I said, "No, I'm not a UFC fighter." I said, "I've trained, but Mike's cousin has a UFC facility in downtown LA, and Mike trains there once in a while." Now, Mike didn't really train there once in a while, but he liked to say he did. So then Mike says to the woman, "Yes, I'm a UFC fighter." And I literally look at him and I go, "What are you doing, man? Why are you going to lie? Like, what are you doing?" So he says he's a UFC fighter. So this woman starts talking to him, and she's gorgeous, and she's into him, and she says her brother's a UFC fighter. So Mike gets her number. They start talking on the phone. That Friday, there's a UFC fight in Vegas, and Mike texts me and says, "Hey, I'm not coming into work today. I'm going to Vegas." I said, "What are you going to Vegas for?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm just going to Vegas." I said, Are you going with your cousin for the UFC fight?" He goes, "Yeah, but I'm just going for like an hour." So he drives 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours to Vegas. He takes a picture of himself in front of the UFC thing, drives back so the woman can think he's part of the UFC fight card that night. Now he said he wasn't fighting. Long story short, the guy he was supposed to fight couldn't make weight. So just think about a mindset. You want to impress a woman so bad, you drive 3.5 hours, you spend 20 minutes in Vegas, and then drive back. So this woman thinks he's a fighter. He's living a lie. They go to the beach on their first date, and wouldn't you know it, her brother shows up at the beach, who is, in fact, a mixed martial arts fighter, and he starts grilling my friend Mike from LA about what he does, where he trains. And obviously, Mike was a total fraud. I'm surprised the guy didn't kick sand on his face because Mike was lying through his teeth. The brother finally says, "Okay, man, come to my gym tomorrow, Monday. We'll spar." And Mike never showed up, never called the girl back. I don't know why people catfish. I don't know why people lie. I don't know why a woman would rig a homecoming election. I don't know why my friend Mike would pretend he's something he's not. Okay? Why do you do? The truth always comes out in the end. It always does. Why are you going to tell this girl you're a UFC fighter and continue to propagate the lie when you know it's only going to come out? I wish he got beat up by her brother. You might have, taught him a valuable lesson. All right. So the second time, my friend Mike, now I'm in New Jersey, my friend Mike from New Jersey. He used to work. This is when we were in our early 20s. He would work at a gym. I was a waiter. I was a bartender. We didn't have credit cards back then, 21, 22 years old. So our thing was, hey, he'd call me up. How much money do you got? I got $60. He goes, I got 100. Great. We got $160 for the night. One of us would hold the money. That's how we did it. We didn't care. Sometimes I had more money. Sometimes he had more money. We were just a tandem. So we're working out one Friday, and these two women, don't ask me why I picked, it says a lot about me that I picked an 80s little meme here about women. These two women come up to us, and they say, "Hey, what are you guys doing tonight? Do you want to get together?" We would talk to them at the gym, so we were going to go out with them for a date. Mike tells them, "Okay, let's meet at 4 o'clock at Andy's bar," which was literally right around the corner from Mike's house. Mike's mom went down the shore for the day. She was spending the night there. She was a single mom. So the plan was me and Mike, we're going to go to Andy's, hang out with these women, take them out to dinner. Lido's in Hackensack, classic place. I love the mom and pop restaurants. I love mom and pop restaurants. I don't care for, the chains of the world. Lido's in Hackensack was a great, great restaurant. Still is. Okay. And they had a special for the summer. The special for the summer was because people were going down the Jersey Shore was Friday night. You'd get a chicken parm over spaghetti, salad, dessert, and a carafe of wine for $10.95 a person. And then after that, the pitcher of wine was like $5, and pitcher of beer $5. Great deal. So the plan was to take these two women from the gym to Andy's bar for a drink, then go to Lito's, and then maybe back to Mike's house to hang out. So I say to Mike, how much money do you have? He says he has he has $80 to spend. I said, great. I have $100 to spend. So we have $180 cash money to spend. Again, going to Lito's, gonna have a great time. We meet the girls at Andy's. We get a drink. Mike says, okay, we're ready to go. We're going to another place. It was about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I don't realize what's going on. All of a sudden, Mike is headed to the George Washington Bridge. We're going into New York City. That was not the plan. That was not the plan. And by the way, for all the people who are texting me, tweeting me about the Jersey Shore, anyone who lives outside of New Jersey hates the Jersey Shore. Okay? It's only people everywhere I travel. You're from New Jersey? Oh, man, Jersey Shore. People from New Jersey can't stand the Jersey Shore. So stop with the comments about the Jersey Shore. I can't stand it. It represents everything wrong about the state of New Jersey. All right. So we get to South Street Seaport. For those people who don't know, the South Street Seaport in New York City is just a bunch of bars, restaurants on the water. Great place to go to. They have live music. They have bands. It's just a fun time. And in the summer, it is really fun. So we get there. We pay $10 for gas, $10 for toll, $20 for parking. So we're at $180. Now we're down to $140. Down to $140. We sit down. Mike says, ladies, what would you like? Since he had the money, they said, get us Long Island iced teas. For those of you who don't know what a Long Island iced tea is, it is all the white liquors. It is vodka, rum, tequila, triple sec, gin. So I said, Mike, just get me a draft beer. He comes over, 4 Long Island iced teas, which I didn't want. First of all, it's 5:30. Why am I going to drink a Long Island iced tea? I got to pace myself. And I look at Mike, and Mike is sweating like there's no tomorrow, like something's wrong. So halfway through the drinks, again, little Dixie cups of drinks. They weren't even big drinks. Mike says, hey, Monte, come with me to the bathroom. That was our code where we got to come up with a plan. Now, our plan was always when we get to a bar, first drink, you tip the bartender $20, and boom, he's going to take care of us, or she's going to take care of us the rest of the night. Mike, we go to the bathroom. I said, what's going on? He goes, those drinks were $40. I said, what? I said, those little Dixie cups were $40? He goes, yeah. I said, okay. He goes, and I tipped the guy $20. I go, okay, so we're good for the rest of the night. He goes, no. He goes, the guy told me after I tipped him $20, he goes, thanks, I'm just about to leave. My shift is over. So $20 right there down the spot, down the hole. We were supposed to have $100 left, but Mike then tells me he didn't have $80 to start the night. He only had like 30. So we have like $40 left it's 6 o'clock at night, and we're on a first date with these women at the South Street Seaport. So I start to panic because I'm like, we just got here. We have $40 left. What the hell are we going to do? What the hell are we going to do? So I say to Mike, you got us into this mess. You're getting us out of this mess. I don't care what we do, but we need to get the hell out of here. So we come outside, and there's a third woman now. One of their friends is sitting at the table. This has disaster written all over it. We come back. I'm figuring out what we're going to do. Mike has no answers. And all of a sudden, John Stamos comes to the table, the actor, with a bottle of champagne. John Stamos was dating their friend, and he came and sat down. He looks at us. He's like, hi, I'm John. Shakes Mike's hand. He goes, hi, I'm John. I say, excuse me, what's your name? You see, because the deal is, when you meet a celebrity, when I meet a celebrity, I always ask for their name again because it establishes dominance. So I thought. So John Stamos is ordering drinks. He's ordering food. He gives the waitress a credit card. He's like, guys, everything's on me. All of a sudden, he gets a call. He walks away. He comes back, and he says, hey, guys, let's finish up here. I have a limo outside. Why don't you come to me? We are going to a rooftop party in Manhattan. He's like, free drinks, free food. we'll take the limo over there. And he's like trying to convince me to go. And I'm like, John, you had me at limo. You had me at rooftop party. So Mike says to them, you guys go in the limo. We'll follow you. I don't want to leave my car here. So we're going to follow them to the party. All of a sudden, I tie my shoe. I look up. Mike makes a turn, and Mike is heading back home. I look at him and I say, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on? He's like, yeah, I wasn't feeling it. I'm not. You're not feeling a rooftop party with John Stamos and two beautiful women out on a date. He's like, no, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm like, Mike, I am going to when you pull over, I am going to beat the hell out of you. We get back to Mike's house, and I'm thinking these girls are going to call us. They're going to meet us somewhere, somehow. No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Mike says to me, got some good news, man. I got 2 free dinners from Vitali's, 2 free dinner entrees. So we order eggplant parm with spaghetti, and we're drinking beer, and we're playing Tecmo Bowl. Remember Tecmo Bowl? Mike looks at me and he says to me, this is the life, isn't it? I go, this is the life? We could be at a rooftop party. We had 2 beautiful women. We're sitting here drinking beer on a Friday night, playing Tecmo like 2 losers eating out of tin, eggplant parm. He goes, yeah, but that life is not for us. So at that moment, I said to myself, never forget it, eye-opening moment. I'm like, that life may not be for you, but that life is going to be my life. So fast forward 20 years later. This Friday night, my sister Diane makes a tremendous eggplant parm, no cheese with pasta, right? I'm having wine with my brother. And instead of playing Tecmo Bowl, I'm watching Wipeout on TNT. This is my Friday night. Eggplant, wine, watching Wipeout with my brother Pete. 20 years, nothing has changed. In the immortal words of Social Distortion, you can run all your life, but not go anywhere. 20 years later, I'm doing the same damn thing I was doing with Mike. Now, some of you may be laughing, but I'm crying on the inside. Just so you know, with that story. All right. We start each show with the good, the bad, and the ugly. This portion of the show is brought to you by Beam Organics. Guys, you got to go to beamorganics.com and check it out. Go to beamorganics.com, check it out. Beam creates the highest quality functioning supplements for better balance, performance, recovery, and sleep, and is trusted by our partners and wellness community. Go to beamorganics.com and check it out. All right, let's get to the good, the bad, and the ugly before we bring Enzo on. Let's start with the good. Listen, Russell Westbrook. For those people who don't really care about Russell Westbrook, who think he's a stat hog, he became the NBA's all-time triple-double leader by tallying the 182 career triple-double. For those of you who don't know what a triple-double is, it means you score more than 10 points, grab more than 10 rebounds, and 10 assists in one game. He broke Oscar Robertson's record that stood for 47 years. 47 years. Listen, and in games where Russell Westbrook has a triple-double, he's 136 and 45. 136 and 45. I love Russell Westbrook from quarters 1 through 3. In the fourth quarter, he really takes bad shots, and his basketball IQ in the fourth quarter is definitely suspect. But I will take Russell Westbrook for 1 through 3 quarters, and congratulations to him. That is a great accomplishment. Okay, now to the bad. Houston attorney Tony Busby, who's representing the women, accusing Deshaun Watson of sexual misconduct, says several of his clients feel disrespected by the NFL. The NFL are not taking these charges seriously. NFL, what the hell are you doing here? What are you doing here? You have a guy who dozens of women are accusing him of sexual misconduct, and you can't even give them the courtesy of hearing what they have to say and not mocking them? It's a disgraceful job by the NFL. I say this all the time. Victims need to be heard. Let it play out. But they are saying that they are feeling disrespected, and the attorney may not even go send the rest of the women to the NFL. That's how bad it's been. Now to the ugly. And I say this is ugly because this is a great accomplishment, But this is the problem with Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball continues to fail with the fans. Corbin Burns entered the record books Thursday night. The Milwaukee right-hander struck out 9 against the Cardinals and set a record. He has started the season. He has struck out 52 batters, no walks. 52 batters, no walks. Look, a good strikeout to walk ratio in Major League Baseball is 3-1. He's 52 strikeouts, 0 walks. No one knows about it. So there you have it, the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to add a new section to the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we're just going to call it the what the F section. The what the F section. Okay, this is ridiculous. The Las Vegas Raiders, okay? The Las Vegas Raiders are adding a DJ lounge to their games. They're putting a DJ in the end zone and a lounge. Yeah, that's what I want to see, a bunch of drunk people who can't dance halfway through the third quarter while I'm trying to watch a damn football game. Hey, Vegas, you want to attract fans, John Gruden? Win some damn games. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this when I go out to a club, much less this. And there you have it, the good, the bad, the ugly, and of course, the what the F. Okay, before we bring on Enzo, let's do something we love to do, and that is, yeah. So, no, I was not ahead of my time, Laura. I was not ahead of my time. Yeah, everyone's laughing, and I'm crying. Everyone's laughing about crying. Yes, it's all about the money, but can we stop? I don't want to see a DJ and people dancing when they're drunk. Now, if it's me, I could dance. But, I don't want to see people dance. When I watch a football game, I want to watch football. I don't need distractions. But you know what? I think this is going to be a disaster. They're encouraging people to drink more. There's going to be fights. And again, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this at all. All right. I am so happy to bring on, I'm going to leave this here for a second just so you guys can get the feeling of what it's going to be like in Vegas. We're going to bring on Enzo Jabali. He is a pro soccer scout for Stade de Reims, France's top division club. Enzo manages the recruitment for the team, and he's definitely going to be our go-to guy when it comes to American soccer. Enzo, thanks so much for joining the Full Monty Sports Show. How are you today?
I'm very fine. Thank you very much, Monte, and hi to all the viewers tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, what time is it there? 5 o'clock?
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock. That's the reason why I say tonight, but yeah, I have to be used to it. Yeah.
All right, we are so glad to have you on. Let's get right to it. We're going to be talking soccer. This is what I don't understand. American soccer among the youth, amongst kids under 14, is so popular. It's the number one played sport. But yet, when you talk about soccer in America, it's just not that popular. And I don't get it. If it's so popular amongst kids, what happens as kids get older that they don't stick to soccer?
It's getting better and better for the popularity of the soccer in USA, especially about the MLS. But we will talk about it later. But I think it's about especially a missed appointment with history for the way that the adults. Hello, Elsie. Thank you very much.
Listen, Greg says it's football. Yes, football, not soccer. Okay.
Yeah. I believe that this is a genuine one for your point. I'm just a little bit provocative, like your show is doing it, but it's okay. It's okay. I think there is a real historical reason and practical reason. Football, the soccer, it's the easiest sports to settle up. You just need a ball. Boundaries are really, really simple. Yeah, very, very nice gesture. And you don't even need the nets. The nets, it's maybe accessory, and you put 2 coats as a net, and it's okay. So the reason why, in my opinion, the soccer is really popular for the kids because it's really simple to understand and really simple to settle up. And about the historical reason, I think it's about a missed appointment with the history. When England was in the United States before independence, the train sport was cricket, and then the rounders game in the middle of the 18th century was popular, and the reason why baseball is one of the most popular sports in the USA. And then you have American football, because when the first club in England was created, the rules was mixed with rugby. Is another sport that America doesn't know about it, but it's really huge in England and in France too. And so they mixed the rule with the contacts, with the pitch, and etc. And Harvard fixed the rule and create the American football. And because American wanted to make his own culture and own sports, and you can see it for all the countries with a high cultural side, like Gaelic football. You have Australian football. So I think it's really about a missed appointment with history. When the way of life of England was developing, United States were developing his own, and that's the reason why it took a lot of time. And even for basketball, James Naismith was Canadian, so the geographical boundaries are pretty close. So I think it's really the cultural reason is really historical, in my opinion, and the new kind of effects that we have in soccer now. It's about, I think, two things. I think for MLS, David Beckham brings it like in another planet in the 2007, and when he came in the Los Angeles Galaxy. And I think because of the globalization, with their social networks and everything like that, I think that the worldwide broadcast make all the sports is broadcasted, and now it's more diffuse.
No, that's a great point. Everyone can watch nowadays where they couldn't back in the day. But that goes along with my point. The U.S. soccer team spends so much money to develop their players. We have a very good college soccer here in America, and the women seem to thrive in international events. And if are the men's soccer team, is it just the best athletes go to play football, basketball?
Yeah.
They're not the best athletes. Why is it that the women's soccer team, who doesn't spend nearly half as much, they don't get paid, they get paid an eighth of what the men's soccer team do? Why has the U.S. women's soccer dominated and the men's soccer team hasn't?
I think it's about the athletes and the best competitions. The best competition for female soccer is the Olympic Games. And it's not the case for the male soccer. It's the World Cup, and you can see Mia Hamm with this famous pig, and and I think it's a really important point. When you have the best athletes, you can bring the best for your sport. And that was not the case for the elite programs in the universities.
Because if you're a great athlete, you're gonna go to Alabama and play football. You're gonna go to Duke and play basketball. Right. It's not necessarily you're gonna go play soccer.
Exactly. It's when you are a male soccer and when you are a male athlete like a top, you're wondering about the best. It's basketball, baseball, or American football. But just after, you don't wonder about soccer, because it's not making dreams for the male people. But because the Olympic Games, the World Cups, and because the best women athletes are in soccer, there is a cultural dream about to be winning, and because it's all goes with victories, and so because the women are dominant in soccer, you creating vocation.
So
And
is
beginning,
this
yeah.
is this something that men's soccer here in America can really focus on? Is it a messaging thing? Because I went through the list and I was shocked. If you look at the top 7 athletes in the world, the richest athletes in the world, Roger Federer, tennis number 1,
Yep.
Cristiano Ronaldo 2, Lionel Messi 3, Neymar 4, LeBron James and Steph Curry are 5th and 6th. So if youth soccer is being played in America at a record pace, and these guys are the richest guys, athletes in the world, how is this not a messaging problem for the United States to push that? If you want fame, if you want money, if you want success, this is the way to go.
Yes, but it's something like, I know it's not easy to imagine, but soccer is still the most popular sport in the world. You have 3.5 billion supporters for the soccer, and I think it's an American problem. When you will have a big star who is American, you will create a way to identify to it. And these guys also, it's about the globalization. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are the 2 best players in the world, and you can imagine it's something like Federer against Nadal, because
Right.
yeah, it's it's for the commercial, it's really bonanza, because they are really different with the personality, with the way to think about football, to even the style of play is really different. So you can have, it's really 2 opposite ways of conceiving the soccer problem. Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the most technical players of the world, of course, but it's also the perfect body. He's a great athlete. He can reach.
Women love him. Women absolutely love him.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, because yeah, he's a Greek sculptor. To be honest,
Right.
he has a perfect body for the sport, and he can jump high. He has pace. He has the guts of pace. He has stamina. He has a sense of the goal. He has all the physical ways to dominate this game. And Messi is different because he's a genius of the dribbling, of agility. He's kind of small, and he's really like a guy you play in school, for the kids. And Neymar is also one guy like that. He's maybe the most technical player in the world with Messi. So all these different personalities, because they are winning trophies, a lot of trophies, and it's a real bonanza for football. But even if there are great personalities for the commercials and the advertising, in general, the best players of soccer are great ambassadors for the advertising in general.
Right. Yeah.
And because, as you say, football is really a sports played by kids. And when you are a mother, you cannot resist when your kid is claiming something. You cannot. So when he says, I want to be like Neymar, and he wants to buy his shoes, to buy something from Messi or from Ronaldo, the kids are the best target for the advertising in general.
Yeah.
And
Listen.
they are role models for kids.
And listen, you see this with all athletes. They do incredible work. Andrea giving you a nice compliment, knows his stuff, learning a lot. Greg, again, right here. So, Enzo, when we talk about European soccer, when we talk about anything that has nothing to do with American sports, one of the things that drives me insane here, and football gets it right, okay? American football doesn't. The Jacksonville Jaguars were 1-15 in a 16-game season. What is their reward? They get the best player in the draft, Trevor Lawrence from Clemson. Here in America, we reward teams that suck. We reward teams that are terrible. Okay, we give them draft picks. We make it easier for them. But in Europe, once you lose and you're the worst team, you get demoted to a lesser team, and the lesser league, the
Division, yeah.
best team gets promoted. Can you explain to Americans why that works, why that's good for the fans, why that's good for organizations? Because I can't stand every sport in America halfway through the season, if they know they're going to lose, they start to tank and they lose games on purpose because they're being rewarded for losing by getting the best draft picks.
Yeah, okay. Because I think that because you guys love communism in a way. I'm kidding, but no, it's different. Our system have a lot of weaknesses too, but I will explain. Maybe you have big difference. If you don't have any draft or any salary cap, which is guessing it's, I think it's the same way to think about to say about the league. MLB, NFL, NBA are closed league. As you perfectly said, you cannot be promoted or demoted, and because of that, if you don't have any salary cap or any draft, the more you are rich, the more you win. So they're creating a fake balance. So in European soccer, that's not the case. But even in MLS, in the American Championship, is the same system than NBA or MLB or NFL. It's exactly the same. You have to pay something to create your club, and that's it. In Europe, you have a history about the way of thinking. It's really different. You can see the Netflix shows. The English Game is a really great show, and it's really explaining that. The football, the soccer has grown with the idea that everyone can beat someone, and you are all equal in the pitch. And even if you are poor or rich, you can be the new big one. And especially about this, so it's the reason why in the culture you cannot fake that. And also here in Europe, the evolution of the level is really critically tight. You cannot say, for example, that even nowadays English Premier League or Spanish or the Spanish Premier League are the best. It wasn't all time the case. For example, in the 90s, the Italian league was the best one. In the 80s, it was against the Premier League or the Bundesliga in Germany. So it's really moving. So the only reward is by the sports performance, and that's the reason why that the fans didn't accept the Super League. I don't know if we can talk about that, but there was a project about the Super League. They wanted to create like an NBA of football, of soccer.
Right. But what I'm saying is, so to me, I always say this: if you know your team is about to get demoted, the fans are gonna watch the game. The players are gonna be more involved. Right now, at the end of the NBA season, if you're out of the playoffs, players sit all the time. That's not happening, right? Because if you get demoted, it's costing your team millions and millions of dollars, right?
Yeah. And that's the case for a lot of clubs. Some clubs felt in bankruptcy after demotion. For example, in France, you had Bastia 5 years ago, who get demoted, and they felt in bankruptcy. So the club has disappeared and have to go back in the 6th division. And now they're in League 2, in 2nd division, but they get step by step every season, every year to get it back for this level. So yeah, I think that's the reason why USA didn't accept this kind of model, because it's economically dangerous.
Right. But I think it just brings about, because they always say they want a competitive balance. Well, you know what? If you know you're going to get demoted, or you know you're not going to get a
Yeah,
top draft
you
pick,
will not
you're
tank.
not going to sit guys at the end of the
Yeah,
year.
you will
You're
not
going to play
tank.
every game.
Yeah, you will not tank. You know, a lot of teams are doing tanking,
Yeah.
like you say in NBA, where they are losing game in purpose to get the highest draft number
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
the pick, so the best pick. Yeah,
All right.
I think it's against sports, in my opinion. Yeah.
Me too. It's against being competitive, because
Yeah.
you're rewarding losing.
Yeah.
Okay, we got about a couple minutes left. Want to talk about the 2020 World Cup? I love the World Cup for many reasons, but I got to tell you, the most beautiful women in the world go to soccer games in the World Cup. It is like we do a tailgate here in the States before the game. We drink, we play music, we dance. The World Cup soccer is just the most incredible event. The pageantry, the dancing, the music, everyone's happy. Talk about what the World Cup means just to fans all across the world. The literally world shuts down during those games. And talk about what America can do. What do you expect from them in 2022?
Okay. Yeah. The World Cup is a holy grail for all soccer fans, and for all kid who wants to play football for soccer. The holy grail is the World Cup. All the best players won there. Pelé, Maradona in history, and okay, so it's a holy grail to reach. And for the U.S. men national team, you know, I think the future can only go brighter, in my opinion, because I was especially in U20 the U20 World Cup, so for the young players in under 20 years of age. And USA did really well and beat France 3-2 in the round of 16.
So you're a little bit more optimistic with
Yeah, I'm really optimistic. Yeah.
you are. Okay.
Yes, I'm really optimistic because what I have seen there and what I'm watching every day in the MLS games, or you know, the football IQ of the players are really getting better and better. They know how to play, how to manage some important decisions, important passes, or the problem before of the American players, it's they have a lack of tactic or a lack of mindset or IQ of the football IQ. And what I have seen for this generation is they know how to play, and also the mindset of the physical of the new generation. I think is really the best generation that we have for the USA, and in my opinion, it can only goes better and better. And I think it's because the MLS clubs approved the European system to make them grow. The players now is growing in academies, and they're hiring the best coaches to make
Right,
it
America
grow.
spends a ton of money, right, with their facilities, with
Yeah,
their. I mean,
yeah,
they spend a lot of money.
yeah. They spend a lot of money, and I think it will be great in the next 5 years. In my opinion, I have a hope, because as I said, this generation is getting the best, and you can see it right now in the last match of the USMNT, the US men national team. They won against Northern Ireland, which is a pretty good team, 2-1. On all the you have a lot of stars that are really young. Sergio Dest, who plays in Barcelona, he was born in 2000. Giovanni Reina in 2002. Yusuf was born in 98. Pulisic is born in 98. So you have a great next generation upcoming. And now in the MLS, you also have great wonder kids like Daryl DK, who came from Orlando City, and goes now to Barnsley. You have Gianluca Buzio in Kansas City, so you have a great of Warner kids. And as I said previously, they all have a physical or a mindset, high quality athletes, and they are beginning to be athletes, and they are beginning to understand really deeply the game. And I think it's a really good sign, really good announcement for them. I think all the players I said, they will be in the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, and I hope for them that I can easily hope to reach the quarterfinal.
That's great. Listen, you sound super optimistic about that. Final thing we're going to ask you, I talk about this all the time. Can we do something about if someone takes a dive in soccer? Like, you see so many memes, you see so many videos of someone like hits them and they flop, they fall like they're acting.
Yeah.
How do we stop that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I saw the comment. I saw the comment, and yeah, in my opinion, it's a problem of refereeing. The problem of all the drama or the contacts. For soccer, it's a course with contacts, and we have to say it. It's really important. The problem is that with a referee, this works. If it wasn't working, they
wouldn't do it. They
will not do it. And we have a great problem with refereeing with the soccer, because the rules are really fluid. So to say if there's a yellow card, a red card, or no foul at all is really the boundary is really thin to understand that. So I think it's when you will put a yellow card for something, for someone who said I'm hurt or something like that, and he has nothing and he is running like a rabbit just 5 minutes after. Yeah, it works. Sometimes it works.
Now, I say this all the time. The NBA, they used to have 2 referees. Then they added a 3rd. Is there any way, especially if you're doing a game and you're running up and down, sometimes, listen, it's hot, it's 100 degrees. Can we add more officials on the field to actually, instead of just giving one guy, why don't they do that?
I agree with that. Michel Platini in the European put this before. They put 2 referees more in the box and 1 central referee.
Right, but I'm talking have one on one end, 1 on 1, and 1 in the middle, so they don't have to run for 90 minutes in the heat.
Yeah, but this reform didn't work really well because it was before the video assistance. I think with the video assistance, this will work better. Because in soccer nowadays you have like in NBA, for example, or like in the NFL, you have the video refereeing assistance, and I think it's a great thing for soccer. And if you not reward the drama, it will be
right.
Exactly. It will be better and better, and that's all. I think it's the only problem. If someone is getting too much drama, I think you have to put him a yellow card, and and everyone will stop. Even if you are really hurt, if the referees say that it's anti-sports,
right?
I think it will be better, and I think it's a problem of referring. Nothing else. You have a lot of problems like that in soccer, because in soccer, when someone gets a fall, but the action is carrying on, and you have an opportunity to score, you have advantage. The game is carrying on, but sometimes if the opportunity is great, and some players are stopping in purpose. because they know that the defender will get a yellow card or a red card.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The referee's got to put a stop to it. Enzo, we love having you on. I just want to let you know, is it you follow soccer your whole life? Is this the best thing you've ever seen? I know it's fake, but how cool is this thing right here?
This? This no, I don't know in English, to be honest, but in French it's a roulette.
That's
Neymar
amazing.
do it really, really well, and it's a roulette.
Whoever made that, I know it's not real, but whoever made that they deserve all the credit. Enzo, how can we follow you and support you? And we'll definitely have you on again down the road to talk soccer. Fans love you in the chat room. Really appreciate you taking the time out today.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I'm really thankful to invite me. But if you are speaking about soccer, please support the U.S. National team in the Gold Cup, the North American competition. It's in United States. You have to enjoy it. I think it's really great to begin to enter in the sports if you want to follow the American national team. It's in July the 11th. It's in July the 11th, the first match, and the 15th against Canada and Martinique, and it's in Kansas City. So if you want to put a first step in soccer, that's a great thing to begin. And as I said to you before the show, Mexico is 11th in the nation ranking, and I can't imagine how in the 5 next years the United States cannot be in this place, in this standing. I think in the next 5 years, the U.S. men's national team will be a top 10 team in the worldwide. So that's the reason why I'm really thankful to speak. Thanks to you. Thank you very much, Monte, to speak about the soccer, and I'm really, really convicted I'm really confident that American soccer will be the next big thing in the world.
That's amazing to hear. Thank you so much. We'll have you on down the road. Thank you for taking the time out in France to join us. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. With pleasure, Monte, and have a great show. And thanks to the viewers for all the message. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. All right, that was Enzo Jabali. Does a tremendous job. Listen, I talked to him yesterday. You could just hear, we did a test run with the camera and everything. And just to hear him talk about soccer is a good thing. We have a lot of people who watch this show who like soccer, some people who are just starting to get into it. So it's definitely a plus to have him on, and I want to thank him. Okay, we're going to bring on 2 of our favorite guests now, the host of the Three Kings podcast, Daniel Goodwin III, and A-Marie, like Cher, doesn't need a last name, host of the Part-Time Bro podcast. How are you both doing today?
Oh my gosh! You're 2 of my favorite people.
That's it. Doing
we
good.
are so happy to have you. Listen, guys, I'm just going to start off like this. I'm going to let you talk trash. A-Marie, we'll start with you. Obviously, the Aaron Rodgers saga. Do you enjoy love seeing Green Bay just suffering right now, not knowing what the hell he's going to do?
I don't. Okay, I'm sorry, but as in this division, us Bears, Vikings, and Lions fans are just loving every second of this. It's like when you're doing better than your ex-boyfriend. Exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, this is awesome. Like, this is great. Even if he stays, this has just been so amusing and fun for me.
No one wants their exes to do well. Listen, Daniel, we're going to get into your quarterback situation, but how do you like this? I mean, what do you think is going to happen? I'm a Packer fan. You see all my gear, my stuff. My whole show is created around the Ducks and Packers, but I want Aaron Rodgers to leave. I'm done. That's it.
That's the general consensus that I get from every Green Bay Packers fan. That's the consensus that I've gotten from everybody. I think he'll end up gone. He's basically sticking it to him. They've disrespected him time and time again, and he's tired of it. And at this point, he wants either Jordan Love to sit on the bench for the next 4 years, because he wants to sign a 3-year deal, I believe, and that'll be this year, 3 more years, and Love will sit on the bench for those 5 years that he's there, and then they have to make a decision going forward at that point They're not going to do that though. So it's
what
gonna,
about Blake Bortles?
I don't know why Greg's attacking me, saying he wants me to suffer the most. Okay, LC. Yes, Rogers just wants to get married. I think Andrew meant the sports diva in A-Marie and Dan the Man.
And that's it.
So,
that's it.
Dan, love you. All right, Dan. Look, we're gonna get into the Bears. We're gonna get into the Vikings. Got so much to talk about. Let's talk about the moves before we get into Justin Fields. Tevin Jenkins with the 39 pick. I think this was an absolute home run. This guy is a nasty offensive lineman. He's going to play in cold weather. He finishes blocks. Were you ecstatic, as I was, not even being a Bears fan, when they selected him?
I was tremendously excited about Tevin Jenkins coming on board. He's like you said, he's a nasty guy. He's tough. He's big. He's strong. He's physical. And the biggest thing that stands out from him, as opposed to what we've been dealing with on our offensive line, is that he moves the pile. He moves guys backwards. He pushes guys back instead of us constantly getting pushed back. It's a great pickup and a great add at the position that we got him. At 39, you can't beat that. There were many mocks
I
that
thought
had
he'd
him
go
going,
late first round.
Yeah, they had us mocking him at 20 in the first round. So the fact that we were able to move back or actually move up to 39, but get him at the 39 spot, man, that was tremendous. I can't complain with it at all.
And Daniel, as two guys who shave their heads, Amari's hair is always flawless.
Yeah, it is. You notice she's got like a nice little tan going on today.
Yeah, I know.
Because I live on the West Coast now. It's I'm exposed to the sun now.
I see.
All right. So I want to talk about, listen, I love Justin Herbert, Oregon Duck guy, one rookie of the year. But I got to tell you, not enough people outside of Minnesota know about Justin Jefferson. 1,400 yards, 7 receptions, 7 touchdowns, 88 receptions. This guy's putting up Hall of Fame numbers in his first year of the season. I mean, he's not the same player as Randy Moss, but he's almost just as productive.
Right. Yes, and more people will know about him. I feel like he's, people are worried about him having like a sophomore slump, but I think that he's the complete receiver. And the year the Vikings had between still struggling with the offensive line, which I think we're fixing this year finally, beefing up the offensive line, and just our defense was atrocious. But I think he's a complete player, and we targeted him 125 times this year. And I think if we keep mixing him in the offense, he's going to do great in the backfield with Adam Thielen. But he's a great player, and he's been working hard in the offseason, and he has a target on his back now, and he wants to get better. So, and supposedly he's been playing basketball in the offseason to help him with his shake and bake moves on those routes.
Whoa, what would you just do there? That was like this. There you go.
That was my I still don't have the gritty down yet, though.
So, all right, you talk about the offensive line. You pick up with the 23rd pick. They moved down with the Jets. Virginia Tech offensive tackle Christian Darrisaw. I think this guy is an absolute stud for the next 7 years.
Me too.
You can pencil him. Were you shocked with this pick? Were you shocked when they traded down?
I was in Slick Rick. I trust. I'm just surprised we only traded once. I'm like, whoa, Rick, this is crazy. I feel like everything else just, even though there were priorities, I feel like there was so much depth in the second and third rounds too that I was like, wow, just everything was working out for us, even though if it didn't make sense, like why, whatever. But we needed, offensive line has been a problem for years. So I'm really excited about this pick. This guy's athletic. He's explosive. I'm so happy that we addressed the offensive line finally.
No, I agree. And listen, let's go back to the Bears. Okay. Larry Broom from Missouri. Listen, I wrote in my article, the Bears had one of the best drafts. It wasn't sexy other than the Fields, which we'll get to, but I say this all the time. If I've said this about 15 times in the last 2 weeks, if Matt Nagy can win with a bad offensive line and Mitchell Trubisky go 25 and 13, now that they've revamped their offensive line and you're getting a stud quarterback, if Rodgers leaves, how are the Bears not the favorite going into the season?
Yeah,
Excuse me.
You're absolutely right. I mean, you got to think about it. With the talent that we have on the offensive side of the ball is good, but addressing the offensive line, I'm a proponent of that. You have to address the trenches in order to win football games, offensive and defensive side of the ball. On offense, we were able to get 2 tackles. One guy in Borum is really good. He can be a swing tackle as well. He can go inside and play guard if you need him to as well. So he's more of an unfinished product. Tevin Jenkins, of course, is a finished product. I think he'll be able to step right in right away and start at left tackle, which is one of the reasons why we got rid of Charles Leno. And then, of course, Larry Borum, I see him sometime during this season, if not at the beginning, but sometime during this season, being able to slide in, maybe even competing with Ifedi for that right tackle position.
By the way, people are talking about A. Marie's outfit. What do you got going on there with that Bears jersey?
Oh, that's Walter Payton.
Classic, right there.
Yeah,
Classic.
You got to do that.
All right, we're going to talk about both of your quarterbacks. They drafted Kellen Mond. I think he's a poor man's Dak Prescott. This guy's going to go out and compete. What I don't like, though, is your Rick Spielman on Friday said there's no competition here. Kellen Mond is not the starter. Come on, man.
Obviously.
NFL is about competition. Let's get to it.
Okay, I don't like that statement, but I think what we're trying, maybe this is just within the Viking community. I love people because it's like they're so bipolar about Kirk Cousins. Like it's like the Viking fans fight about it. It is divided in the Vikings community. Just because we drafted a backup quarterback, people think that means you don't like Kirk Cousins. There's this thing called developing a quarterback, and I think this guy's a gem. I like that you called him a poor man's Dak Prescott. That's hilarious. I think this kid has just getting better and better every year.
Actually, that was my quote. That was my quote.
For once, we're not getting a washed up or veteran old man. We are developing an amazing – Coach Fisher developed this kid. Rick Spielman sees a lot in him. He'll develop again until Kirk's contract is out. And then hopefully for once, we develop a young quarterback. I'm so excited.
Listen. It was my quote. I said I called him a young Dak Prescott, so I don't want to give him that. I think
that's
Kellen
so
Mond,
funny, though.
I think Kellen Mond should come in and compete.
He's great. He's a top SEC quarterback.
Were you happy when they drafted him? Or was
yes.
It okay.
I wanted a quarterback. For the love of God, and not because I don't like Kirk. Kirk can get the job done for now. He's all right. He's my Kirk Cousins. All right, 2 more years. He's fine. He'll get the job done, and then we'll have a young quarterback that could be the future. Finally, I wanted a quarterback so bad.
If the Packers can draft a Jordan Love, who's not even on the same level as your backup quarterback right now, as Kellen, then anyone can do it. So I don't want to hear Viking fans say, "Oh, this is bad for Kirk Cousins." No, if the Packers can do it, yeah, exactly. It's good for Kirk Cousins. All right, yes. So. I think this is kind of a cheap shot here, and Amory, you might like this. I'm going to put this up before we talk about Justin Fields. Someone posted this. This is the top Bears QB in history. Smoking Jay Cutler, Jim McMahon, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson rumors. Aaron Rodgers, man at Packers. Good Rex Grossman. Mitchell Trubisky, week 4 versus the Bucs. Cordell Stewart for 6 weeks. Walter Payton and Kyle Neckbeard Orton. Getting Justin Fields seems right on every level. Other than the Jets, I don't know another organization that has struggled to pick the right QB for decades. Yeah. What did you think when they moved up?
Yeah, I was ecstatic when they moved up. I was beside myself because I didn't think that we were going to move up to get them. I saw the way the draft was going, and it seemed like it was slipping away. We didn't have the necessary things to move all the way up to 4 or 5 or 6. And then once those picks start going, I was like, wow, I don't see who's going to trade with us now. And then all of a sudden, the situation with the Cowboys went on, where they traded with a division rival, and I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. What's going on now? So they wanted cornerbacks. Both of those cornerbacks went off the board. The 2 picks in front of the Cowboys. They trade back, and they trade and get for the Eagles, and the Eagles end up drafting the guy that the Giants want, and that opened the door for us. Exactly. So I was beside myself. I gave Pace his credit. I've been on his case lately, but I had to give him his credit. He stayed patient. He was able to get the job done, and we pulled that. You talk about a gem. getting him at 11 is unbelievable, in my opinion.
So many things I like about him. First of all, he's played at Ohio State, cold weather. The cold weather in Chicago affects some people. It's not going to affect him. Listen to this. Out of 6,500 players who took the mental aptitude test, Justin Field scored first. Above 100 is great. Patrick Mahomes had 110. Field has the highest score ever, 130. This kid is smart on and off the field. He's a leader. I think he starts right away, right? It's a no-brainer that game one he's starting.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I mean, he's got the smarts, he's got the knowledge, he's got the pedigree, you might say, because he's been to national championship games. He's played at Ohio State, a huge program. He's been under the spotlight and the scrutiny of everybody. He's dealt with adversity. Even in this draft process, he's dealt with some of the adversity. People talking about his, bringing up medical conditions and things that have never affected him really, right? So, he's dealt with all that with grace, with poise, with class. He's got all the tools necessary. He's got the arm, he's got legs, he's got, the smarts, the know-how. He's got leadership qualities. They've been ranting and raving about him. They just started rookie minicamp, and they're talking about how he's directing people on the field and wide receivers that don't know the route yet. He knows it all, and he's still already putting it into practice. So, it's going to be evident, because the first thing that I said when Dalton was signed, he has a weak arm, and in Chicago, that's not going to do well.
With that wind, yeah, you can't.
It's windy out there, and it's not going to do well. So you'll be able to see clear from day one his arm talent compared to the ineffective arm talent of Andy Dalton. And I'm not shooting shots at him. He's a good backup quarterback.
I love Andy Dalton.
Yeah, he's a backup. That's what he is. Okay. Hey, Marie, little weird. There's always one pick that I'm always like, this could be the smartest move or the dumbest move. Number 78 picked, Minnesota selected Chaz Surratt. He is a linebacker, but he was a quarterback for his first 2 years. But they're saying that he's very athletic. He loves to hit. It's kind of weird, right? That you never see a quarterback go to become. You see them go to become a wide receiver, a tight end, a running back. He's a linebacker. You need help in your defense where you're scratching your beautiful hair during this pick.
At first I was, and then I got to know the kid, and we need depth at the linebacker position, and I think it's really cool because I think it's more mindset. Like if he understands how a quarterback thinks, maybe that will use it as his advantage as a defender. Obviously we're getting our star line. We're just going to be healthy, hopefully to God, with all of our star linebackers. But I also would take him off the edge and not have him block as much. I feel like we could use more the A gap. Like, I don't know. I've watched film on this kid, and I just think
that's why I was confused, because if you are healthy with your linebackers, that's not really something that you need.
We need depth at the position. We really do. I don't know if you saw our defense last year, Monte.
It was terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, we need depth we need depth in our defense.
So you're fine with that pick?
I mean, like I said, it was weird. It wasn't a priority, but it was like weird. I was like, I don't know. And I was like, all right. But then it just all unfolded, and we covered all the things we needed. It just didn't make sense in which order for me.
Right. Okay. So talk about the draft 1 to 5. How would you give I don't think the Vikings did anything sexy, but they filled.
I think you need to relax, Monte. All right. It wasn't sexy. All right. It was healthy. Okay.
Yes.
We're thinking big picture, long term for once. Okay. All of our first rounders have been a bust most recently. We had a lot of depth in the second, third rounds. We've addressed all of our problems, but no expectation when it comes to being a Vikings fan. Okay. That's what I've learned. I'm just really happy about our draft this year. This is the most happy I've been in a long time, just to let you know.
Okay, and how would you grade the draft for the Bears?
1 to 5, I would grade it a 5. We got Justin Fields. We got Justin Fields, and we got a starting left tackle. And I'm gonna say our draft was sexy. Let's just be real.
There you go.
It was sexy. The big fellas need,
don't have too much expectations. Don't fall in lust.
Yes. Okay. Hey, Maria, you talking about football? You talking about like certain situations in your life right now? Because this is getting a little too personal.
Football is my boyfriend.
All right. Is this a make or break year? Every other year he makes the playoffs. What is it? Even years they become good. So is this a make or break year for him? If they don't make the playoffs, are you willing to move off him?
Yes. There's no reason with a healthy defense. There's no reason why we shouldn't be in the playoffs. I love Zimmer though. I don't hate him, but no. Make the playoffs or bye.
Ooh, she put him on the hot seat.
Put him on the hot seat. No, I agree. Listen, especially if Aaron Rodgers leaves, there's no reason for the Bears and Vikings not to make the playoffs. No reason whatsoever.
No reason.
I agree.
Okay, so 17 games this year. Again, he was 25. Nagy was 25-13 with Mitchell Trubisky. You got to assume 11-6 is the goal here.
Yeah, with 17 games, that's the goal. Yeah, 11-6. That would get you a playoff berth, and that would keep you in line to maybe win the division. You know, with our division, it's a black and blue division, so it's going to be tough games here and there. But 11-6 is what that's a good aim. That's a good aiming spot.
We have the NFC North. We have a hard schedule this year all around, though. I mean, it's
how about the Bears?
We always settle for like
schedule?
I think it's the second, right? Second hardest.
Yeah, how is that possible? Like Tampa Bay has like the second or third easiest schedule. The Bears, I think, have the second toughest schedule, and the Vikings have like the 26th. How is that possible?
What?
Yeah,
we're playing the same teams.
I don't know, man. It's when I looked at the schedule, it's funny because we don't even have not one game where we have back-to-back home games.
Right.
Every game is away, home, away, home. So we'll never get any type of home cooking, you might say, right? So I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I thought, if you're not a playoff team or if you're lower down, then you would get an easier schedule. But for Tampa Bay to get the schedule that they got is agreed. Makes no
ridiculous.
sense to me.
Here you go. Amory has a dirty mind like me. There you go. What's going on? The show's going off the rails. Okay, so the Vikings, decent, above. I think I gave them a B on my draft grade. So a good. What is your biggest concern coming into the season? Because you have stud wide receiver. You have one of the best running backs in the league. Is it just how the defense if they stay healthy, can this defense get back to being great?
If we get everybody back and healthy, there should be no reason why we do good this season. You know what I mean? Like, just the defense was so bad and so young and so broken. And obviously 2020 season just sucked with no fans too. I will say that. So I'm excited that we'll probably have fans back. I hated home games this year, which never happens. So, no, if we've addressed the offensive line, which crossies, and if the defense is healthy, we'll have a great season.
Yeah, I really think that I think the Vikings, no matter what happens with Green Bay, it's not, even if they win, there's something not right. It's right. Like when when the relationship is over, but yet you still carry it out for a couple months for convenience, whatever. It's over. It's over. When you're going to leave a job, but and it's just not that there's something not right with Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay. It has nothing to do with money and his contract. He feels disrespected. And I said this.
He should feel disrespected.
He should. I said this last week. The number one reason people cheat in relationships, people leave jobs. It's not money. It's not sex. It's because they don't feel appreciated by their boss or their partner. Aaron Rodgers, for all he's done, doesn't feel appreciated. So if I'm him, I leave. Okay, so defense is good. Offense is good. Same thing I just said to Dan. 11 wins this year for the Vikings. No? What do you mean?
I want that. I want it, but I think that's too unrealistic with the season we had last year. And you don't know how these players are going to transition to the NFL, but being realistically, maybe 9-8, 10-7. I don't know. It's a hard schedule. That is a hard schedule.
It's difficult.
Dan, are you concerned, which as good as Justin Fields will be, maybe he struggles a little bit and you lose games? Or I think Justin Fields will get better the second half of the season. Are you concerned that maybe you lose games because he turns the ball over? Are you worried about that? Because you're saying 11 games with a tough schedule. You don't have back-to-back home games. So is this like, oh man, you know what, 11 and 6 if everything goes perfect, or are you being conservative in your thought process here?
I'm saying 11 and 6 if everything goes perfect, right? It was probably more along the lines of 10 and 7. That's what we probably aim for. With Justin Fields, I think he's built for this. I think, he said it the other day after in an interview, I'm built for this. I'm ready. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I claim the number one quarterback role, right? So that's what he's going into the season looking for. Nagy stopped short of saying that yesterday, but if you really listen to him, he's kind of leaning that direction anyway, in my opinion. But I think Justin Fields has everything that it takes to do it. I look at it like 2018. When Khalil Mack came to Chicago, we had the same players, we had the same system, or not the same system, but we had same players and everything like that we had in 2017. But he infused energy in the team that really just boosted us up, right?
And are you okay? Are you okay there?
That was rough. I just remember when we played you to get into the playoffs and and we lost. And I was on the plane and I couldn't watch the game, but I was happy I didn't. Anyways, sorry.
It was a good game memory. It was a good game. But that's the thing. I think Justin Fields is doing the same thing. He's going to infuse a lot of energy in this team. The defense will be better than what they played last year because they feel like they're going to have people that are going to put up numbers on the board, right? So if we have that and we get some energy, all it takes is 1 or 2 games and teams shoot off. We see it every year.
Okay, so let's say the Vikings are 6-6, okay, and Kirk Cousins is struggling. You don't feel that you may make the playoffs. Is it time to bring in Kellen Mond for the last 5 or 6 games of the season?
December football? No.
Even if you're 6-6, 5-7.
No. My God, that's a hard question.
You don't see any scenario unless Kirk Cousins gets hurt where he's the starter.
No, I don't think it's Kirk.
I'm surprised you have that much confidence in Kirk.
I'm not I don't think he's Aaron Rodgers. I don't, but I'm saying that he wasn't the problem.
Okay. So it's the defense.
Yeah. And at the beginning of the season, I think it was a little locker room, and then it was and our offensive line. So and our offensive play calling. So that's
very, very suspect. Very suspect.
Monty, I would like to say this, Monty. If just the only way I see Justin Fields not being a starter day 1 or week 1 is if the offensive line doesn't come together as a cohesive unit. If the offensive line does not come together and it takes those rookies some getting up to speed, then I would say put Andy Dalton in there, let him get beat up. I don't want Justin Fields to get beat up.
Right.
I'd rather put Andy Dalton in that situation and let him deal with the hits and things like that. And then once that unit becomes solidified, then put Justin Fields in. That's the only way. But if they're working together good, put him in week 1.
Okay, Marie, got a couple minutes here left. The season goes well. Who is your offensive MVP? More importantly, who's your defensive MVP for this season? And then Dan, I'll ask you the same question.
It's gonna be I hope Danielle Hunter comes back crushing it. But I think it'll be Eric Kendricks on defense, and I think that the chef has a lot to prove this year. So I think it's going to be Dalvin Cook.
So you're taking Dalvin Cook over Jefferson?
Yeah, because our yes.
Okay,
yes.
Dan, who's the offensive and defensive MVP for the Bears?
Offensive MVP, a lot of people will say it's going to be Justin Fields, but I'm going to go a different direction because I believe that the Bears are going to have to establish the run game. We had David Montgomery. He was number 5 in the league in rushing last year. If we build upon that and he does well in the passing game as well, then he can have the offensive MVP responsibilities. Justin Fields, he'll do fine. He'll probably end up getting it. But I think if David Montgomery gets it, then I think our season is better. So that's what I'm rooting for. On the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to go Khalil Mack. I think he's going to have a bounce-back season.
He's been struggling. It's been, it's been injuries. He hasn't looked the same. I think this season for the Bears is definitely something that all Bears fans are looking forward to. There's a lot of excitement there. There's a lot of excitement in Minnesota. I know you guys are absolutely loving the drama going on in Green Bay. Like I said, as a fan, I side with Aaron Rodgers. I'm like you, John. And one of the reasons why too is you saw in the NFC Championship game, Tom Brady's throwing to Gronk, the fourth option for a touchdown. A big third down play late in the game. He's throwing to the third wide receiver, Antonio Brown. The number 2 and number 3 wide receiver dropped numerous passes in that game. He's got Devontae Adams, and that's it. So I think that Aaron Rodgers is looking around the league. He sees what Buffalo did with Stephon Diggs. He sees what Arizona did with Kyler Murray and getting Hopkins, and he's like, "What more do I need to do for you?" And let's say Green Bay, this was a money thing, and Green Bay wanted to keep him. Why the hell are you taking a defensive back in the first round, and you're not taking a wide receiver again this year? So,
and that defensive back should have went in the second round.
Yeah,
or maybe
it was a stretch.
Round.
It was a total stretch.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Anne-Marie, tell us about your life. What's going on? You've moved around. You have a podcast. People email me all the time. When's she coming back on the show?
Oh, that's so nice. I love you all so much. Well, the last time I was on the show, I was traveling to New York to pick up my shit to come back here to my hometown of Albuquerque, New Mexico, where I'm helping my family after the loss of my mother. I'm finally moved back. It's going really well. I've just been focusing on my brand, Part-Time Bro, which I have a new lifestyle podcast, Never Met a Stranger. I have so many random people between comedians and sports personalities that I just get on and have real life conversations with them. And it's been a lot of fun. Like I have Viking personalities on and we don't even touch on the Vikings. And it's really good. So it's on Apple and Spotify. You can check it out. It's called Never Met a Stranger. And
how often do you do that? How often will you be doing that?
It's 2 episodes a week.
Okay. And does it air live so we can check it out live, or
No, it's pre-recorded. So I pre-record all the conversations, and then before the conversation, I kind of catch you up on what's going on in my life. So it's a lot of fun. You'll get to know me very well.
Okay, we definitely have to check that out. We love having you on. Daniel, talk about your podcast. A lot of people on Twitter going nuts over you two guys and your podcast.
Appreciate it very much. We got 3 Kings of the Midway podcast is the name of it. It's myself and we got 2 other guys. One guy, DeVory Nesby, and then of course Roy Williamson. Those guys both are doing it. We have a nice chemistry, man. It's funny because a lot of times with our pod, and people don't understand it, but we just get in there and we start talking. And we just go in and we just have fun with it, right? We don't even have it. I mean, we don't even have topics that we've decided on. We just go in there and start going, and it's pretty good, man, because you get somewhat of an authentic feel for it, but you get an authentic, what's the word? I don't know. Reaction, real-time reaction to a lot of different things that are going on. But follow us at 3 Kings _ Midway. You can follow me at Dan Goodwin III on Twitter. You can follow Ill Will at 79 Ill Will. And then of course DeVory is at NES _ DV15.
I love that you guys say you just get up there and rip it. I am totally the opposite. When I used to do stand-up comedy, I let's say I do a half-hour show, I would practice my routine so many times.
Wow.
And then the day of the show, I go through my routine 6 times. That's 3 hours of just talking to yourself.
That's really good. I can't do that. I get in my head.
Nonstop. Notes, prepared, but the way you guys do it is you just wing it, right? You have certain thoughts, and then you have enough confidence and belief in yourself to just go with it, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, we might spit something out there and say, hey, let's talk about this, let's talk about that, and then we just go in and start talking about it. Yeah.
Okay, Anne-Marie, love having you on again. Tell people again how to follow you, because every time you're on, people are like, oh, do you have that address? Where can we go? Put it on my page so I can retweet it as well.
It's at Part-Time Bro. It's on the screen right here. That's on Instagram, Twitter, all the million things that you can be on social media. And again, you can find my new podcast, Never Met a Stranger, on Spotify and Apple.
Thank you so much. Love having you on. We'll see you down the road. Congratulations on your new move.
Thank you.
Take care. All right, Dan. Again, one more time, talk about your Three Kings podcast. I'm actually going to listen to you guys today. I may have to go into work to my other job today, so I may listen to both of your shows today. Tell people again.
Once again, 3Kings_Midway. At 3Kings_Midway. It's a wonderful pod. We have a fun doing it. We have, it's like this. It's comedy, it's jokes. You hear sound effects in the background. You hear all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty cool. We enjoy doing it. I got two partners on there, two brothers that handle their business. They know something about sports. One of them played basketball. One played football. Played in college. So it's all good. We enjoy it. We have a fun time. We have a ball on that show. Dan, one other thing too before I leave, sure. I think you mentioned your Oregon Ducks one time during this segment or that I was on here, but I'm going to give you another opportunity because we drafted Thomas Graham Jr. Didn't we?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Listen, Dan, it's an exciting time to be a Chicago Bears fan. And our friend Laura made this. She changed up the colors a little bit. We mentioned a bunch of stuff today, so I'm sure people were just doing shots throughout the day. But yeah, listen, I gave the Bears an A- on my draft article, and people were criticizing me. I'm like, if you get an A-, if someone says, "Hey, I listened to your show," I'll give it an A-. You're gonna love it. So it wasn't an insult at all. It's a great time to be a Bears fan. This covering sports. It's always better when your team is playing well than when your team is losing.
It is, and we have some hope right now. So we're looking at this season, and we're looking at it, and we're full steam ahead, man. We're excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting year for you. Thanks so much. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you for having me once again. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. All right, so listen, great job by Dan. Great job by A-Marie. A-Marie's so funny. No, Andrea, I gave them an A-. I did not give them an A+. I gave them an A-. All right. So now what we're going to do, what we do every week, Monte's Extra Point. Actually, it's kind of funny. I went out to dinner last night with my friend Laura. She's in town on vacation. So I went out to dinner, and we were talking about how I used to have a pizzeria. My dad and mom invested in this pizzeria and this Italian restaurant. And during the Hurricane Sandy, people lost power. People lost their homes. It was terrible. And there was gas lines all around, and you couldn't bring your car. You had to bring a 5-gallon tank of gas. And people were only allowed to get 5 gallons of gas at a time because everyone was short of power. So what I did, since this gas station was across the street, there was a line 2-3 blocks around, people waiting in the cold. I cut up some pizzas, made some pizzas, and I brought it out. And I was giving people just a little taste of pizza, while they're waiting. People were like, "Hey, while I'm waiting, can we use your plugs to charge our phones? We don't have power at the house." I said, "No problem." And a police officer who was watching this calls me over and says, "Hey, man, you should sell those little slices for $1 a piece. You'll make money. It's like there's like 200 people online." And I said, "I am not going to make money off people suffering. I'm not going to do it." So we're seeing now, right? What we're seeing now with these people hoarding gas all over. First of all, there's no gas shortage. But what's happening is Americans are panicking and they're just hoarding gas. I don't know what's happened to this country, but it used to be that when there's a tragedy, we help each other out. It's not like that anymore. People were hoarding toilet paper during COVID-19 till the supermarket said we can only send you one. What is happening to help thy neighbor? And all this panicking is happening in the so-called Bible Belt. These are people who are supposed to believe in the Bible, but they don't believe in any teachings of Jesus Christ. Love thy neighbor. We're seeing Asian Americans getting beat up and attacked because the former guy said the Kung Flu virus. If anyone thinks that an Asian American has anything to do with coronavirus, you really got to question what you're doing on this planet because you're an idiot. And when I see people like this hoarding gasoline, left and right in a time of crisis. Look at this guy's face looking at this woman. He's looking at her like, you're an idiot. What happened to love thy neighbor? All it is now is I'm going to get mine and screw everyone else. I wasn't raised that way. My parents didn't raise me that way. They raised us to help people, make people feel comfortable. The Bible says that. For whatever you do to your neighbor, you do to me. What happened to America where people don't give a rat's ass about anyone else anymore? Let's get back to helping each other out. Let's get back to helping each other out. And that is my extra point. I want to thank Enzo. I want to thank A-Marie. I want to thank Daniel. And I want to thank you. On Wednesday, we are having an NBA Eastern Conference preview. I will not be on Tuesday. I will be on Wednesday so we could do the NBA Eastern Conference preview. We're going to have a ton of guests from Nuts and Bolts Sports. Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Check it out. It's going to be a fun show Wednesday. And, of course, follow me on social media, on Twitter, MontyJP231, on Facebook, Monty Perez, and on Instagram, Monty Perez2. We will see you on Wednesday. In the immortal words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back.
Team Nuts and Bolts Sports Store is officially open. Log on to www.teamnbsmerch.com and get your t-shirts, hoodies, polos, all sizes available. Once again, log on to teamnbsmerch.com. Get yours today.